Hello, Gemini, and welcome to April 2021. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Gift of Astrogab. And this is a month that is looking very dynamic, very, you're starting off with a bang, with a very high energy, high visibility month. Um, Towards the end of the month, it gets a little bit more meditative, but that is pretty natural, seeing as it's the end of the month is heading towards the month before we get into your season. So usually there is that um, general inclination towards going within before you shine completely. But coming back to April, we're going to start with the fact that there are way more sextiles, which are really helpful, amazing aspects than the squares. And even though squares are a little bit more frictional, they are good because, in combination with a lot of sextiles, it's just a little friction to spark the fire and to make the engine run, so to speak. So that's how I see it. It looks really good. But let's dive into your month. So on the 2nd of April, we have Mercury in Pisces in your 10th house, sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in your 8th house. Now, it's an interesting combination, but it's really good that there's a sextile there. Now, we have a dreamy Mercury, an emotional Mercury, um, an insightful Mercury as well. It has a lot of insight and very intuitive as well. It's sextiling Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is a planet of regeneration and transformation as well. And here it looks like the Mercury in Pisces is in your 10th house of career and also higher aspirations and legacy and all those things. So there's a dialogue here with your Pluto and Capricorn with 8th house themes. So what I see here is that your career is, there's a dialogue here, helpful dialogue, where you're asking yourself about your external resources, other people's resources, um, resources that come from third parties. How can that benefit my career? And your career is looking like there's a lot of creativity there, and you're looking at how to transform. Um, and there's a helpful aspect, so you are transforming uh, other resources you've had from other third parties or other people. You're transforming it to benefit your career early on in the month. This is really good. Now, on the 3rd, Mercury is entering Aries, and that's in your 11th. This is really amazing because Mercury is a planet that does well in fire, and Aries is a fire sign. And being that it's in your 11th house, um, it is a house of large groups, friends, social media, um, and that's looking really good for your communications, because Mercury is a planet of communication. So there's a large powerhouse there. And if you take advantage of that, it can be very fruitful. Now, on the 6th of April, Venus is entering Aries in your 11th house, sextiling Mars and Gemini in the 1st. Now, Venus in Aries, it takes charge, and it's very easy for it to grasp what it wants, and it knows what it wants. So that's happening in your 11th house of social media, and it's actually benefiting your house of social media because Venus is a benefic planet. and it's helping Mars and Gemini in your first. It's helping you to take action on um, possibly it looks like maybe an internet, uh, some kind of online business, or it's blessing your visibility in that. Now, on the ninth, Mars and Gemini in your first house, again, it's squaring Neptune and Pisces. So on the ninth, you could be having, a tug and pull between the action you're taking and the dreamy state of your 10th house. Um, there are Neptune and Pisces is illusions, and you do have these dreams. It's illusions, but it's also dreams. Now you have these dreams in your 10th house, and the action you're taking. Uh, just make sure that the action you're taking isn't um, building upon anything that could be just an illusion, but instead a dream. There's a way to spin things positively for in every way. So make sure to have a clear path and to dream big and dream on paper. That's something that I just popped in my head. Dream on paper, dream on a plan, and that will benefit you so much for the following months to come for your career. Now, on the 10th, Mercury in Aries in your 11th is sextiling Saturn in Aquarius in your 9th. Now, Mercury in Aries in the 11th, take advantage of that, because that's with Venus there also. It's blessing your communications for social media, for large groups of friends, for community, for the community in general. And it's sextiling your house of beliefs, sextiling Saturn in Aquarius in your house of beliefs, higher aspirations as well, and travel. And with that, you could be seriously thinking that you want to travel and take your this looks like someone that's traveling and taking a laptop with them, which Geminis love to do anyway. We're always looking for, okay, let me take my phone or let me take my laptop and let's just work on the road. It's a very Geminian thing to do. Now, on the 11th, we have a new moon in Aries in your 11th house. A lot of action in that 11th house. The 11th house, the new moon being there, you're planting new seeds for what you want to do with mass communications. Whether or not you're implementing them right now, which you could be, you're coming up with the ideas, and those will grow with time. Because the new moon grows the things that you plant. Now, on the 11th, again, Venus is blessing that 11th house. So any new beginnings could be good. Now, there is a square aspect there with Pluto and Capricorn in your 8th. So it's looking like your other people's resources may seem to have a little bit of friction, but that could also be not what to focus on. Focus on it like, okay, I have the resources that I have, and I'm going to do what I can with them, because Venus in Aries is a go-getter. So I believe that with whatever endeavor you're doing, which is 11th house, with groups of friends, social media, anything like that, having a square with Pluto and Capricorn in the 8th, just make sure that you have enough resources, and that you are making sure to understand what you're doing around that date. Understand it. You're probably transforming as well. You're being pushed to transform something and do something in a different way. Now, on the 13th, the Sun in Aries in your 11th house is sextiling Mars and Gemini in your first. This is very beneficial. The sun is supercharging. It comes in and it supercharges the house, whatever house that's in, and it likes to be in Aries. It likes it so much, in fact, that it's supercharged. Now it's sextiling Mars and Gemini, so it's sextiling. It's benefiting your actions, your actionability, your ability to take, literally your ability to take action. So that's vitality there. Now, on the 14th, Venus is entering Taurus, and that's in your 12th house. So one of the benefic planets is blessing your house of creativity. Um, it's a creativeness, it's dreamy, and that is also, it's a house of meditation, house of spirituality. Um, so take advantage of that and dig into your spiritual, uh, make a spiritual foundation that's strong with that, because once the sun moves into your first house in your season, whatever you've built spiritually is just going to give you that much more of a firm subconscious and firm emotions to stand on so that you can shine appropriately. Now, on the 15th, the sun in Aries in the 11th house is sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius in your ninth. This is a beneficial aspect for a dialogue you have probably on social media or with your friends or with or hearing from communities with regards to your beliefs. This is saying, I agree with you. There is, you know, I think you're feeling, you're finally feeling, because Gemini, we've been going through a lot with our beliefs and a lot of inner turmoil. So this to me looks like you're finally getting the community around you to embrace the new ideas that you've had for a while now. On the 16th of April, we have the Sun in Aries in your 11th house, squaring Pluto in Capricorn. Again, a square. Um, these are symbols of, it's not tension. It's like a nudge. It's nudging you to grow, and I always liken it to lifting weights, because it's hard. It's a little bit hard, but it's good hard, and it builds muscle. I mean, without it, we would be completely. We probably wouldn't be able to move. So this aspect is an aspect of movement, I could say, between that 11th house, which is your large groups of friends and the like and social media, and it's squaring Pluto and Capricorn in your 8th. So if sometimes there's a fear, sometimes we have fears, and they stunt our growth. But there's an idea for this month with all these sextiles, and there's a trine and conjunctions. There's a lot of light here, so it's kind of saying, feel the fear, but do it anyway. Reflect and be cautious, and learn from the past, but allow that square to act as the pinwheel to move, the force you need to continue to move. And that's good. Very good. Now, on the 17th, Mars in Gemini in your first house is trining Jupiter in Aquarius in your ninth. Again, amazing. Honestly, the trine is it's the most beneficial aspect. It's the most free-flowing aspect. It's like the wind pushing a sailboat. That's really amazing. You don't have to work too hard to get something to happen. So since it's between your first and your ninth house, there is an idea here between you and your beliefs. And Mars in Gemini, it's your actions you're taking towards your beliefs or for travel. Honestly, on this day, you could be like spontaneously traveling. You could be like, it's like the wind is pushing you. The winds of change have like come to you, and they are pushing you. Everything's free for you to travel, which Geminis love. we're like Sagittarius, as we love to travel and we love culture, new cultures, and all that learning stuff. So now on the 17th, again, Mercury in Aries, which is your ruler, Mercury, is in your 11th house of social, anything social, large communities, online social stuff, sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius in your ninth. So again, everything's flowing for you. The beliefs, friends are egging you. Friends are, yeah, friends are egging you on, and they're telling you, good job, patting you on the back, kind of thing. You're doing good, and we are reflecting your beliefs. We see you. This is amazing because Geminis need that. We haven't felt seen in a while. We haven't felt understood in a while because a lot of our beliefs um, are in our ninth house, which is Aquarius, and we've been thinking about future. We've had downloads from the future, so to speak, for a while, and when that happens to any sign, there's a catch-up moment. So a lot of the world catches up, and then we finally feel like we are understood. So that's beautiful. Now on the 17th, again, Mercury in Aries. In the 11th, once again, sextiling Mars and Gemini. So even your actions, your friends are telling you, yes, take action, do this. You're doing the right thing online, social platforms. You're doing the right thing, Gemini. Keep going. Now on the 19th, the Sun and Mercury enter Taurus in your 12th house. So again, this kind of slows you down in a good way because with so much happening in your career and also the high visibility of the 11th house with social circles and taking so much action in that, that having the Sun and Mercury entering Taurus, it's calming you down a bit and it's telling you to meditate, to breathe, to relax. Many times when we do that, we can think more clearly. And that's really good for you because once your season comes around, there's a lot of action in your first house, and it's just go go go. So take this time now coming into Taurus season to go within a little bit, uh, and that helps build your foundation because it's subconscious. Spirituality is what's happening behind the scenes, and if you have a firm foundation there, then you're like a strong tree, planted by with deep roots. It's not going to shake you. Things aren't going to shake you. So now on the 22nd, we have Venus in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus in the 12th. Again, in the 12th. Venus in Taurus, it's Venus benefiting you in the 12th house and your spiritual pursuits, creative pursuits, and anything that's 12th house. And the fact that it's conjuncting Uranus, it's revolutionizing. It's revolutionary love for that part of your house, for the 12th house, which is you know I think that the way you approach your spirituality has been changing and will continue to change, and you don't just have to meditate the usual way. You can meditate in a Gemini way. You can do walking meditations. You can just go for a run, or you know where you find God for you is it can happen in many different areas, and you're learning that and you're concretizing that. That's really nice. Now on the 23rd, Mars enters Cancer in your second house. This is a little bit different. So Mars, planet of action, is taking action to help you with your resources. You could, on this day, you could literally, money could be hitting your bank account, or someone could be giving you a gift of like some material aspect, because the second house is material wealth, material thing, literally things that you have. So, and also you could be taking action on things that you find valuable, which could be things that that further you or further the people around you. Now, on the 24th, going towards the end of the month already, Mercury in Taurus is conjunct Uranus in Taurus in your 12th house. Again, communication, revolutionary communication within yourself, and within your spiritual life. Um, totally, totally makes sense. There's loving communication with Venus there, and you're having inner dialogue that is very um, flowing very nicely, and revolution in a way that's revolutionary as well. Now, the 25th, Mercury in Taurus in your 12th house is squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So with all this beautiful energy that's happening within you, um, to make things happen, sometimes you need a little bit of friction. So the square to Saturn in Aquarius in your ninth house, it's happening within you because there's something here on the 25th that's happening where, yeah, you have all this new spiritual downloads and you have all this flowing, cool, like aspects in that 12th house. But with the square, it's going, okay, let's get real now, Gemini. Let's let's see if you really believe all these new spiritual things you're learning. Because the ninth house is beliefs and travel and higher learning. So it could also be that the spiritual things you're learning, they're clashing a little bit with new things that you're learning that are higher lessons, and you have to find the middle ground there. Um, but they're lessons you've been learning. So the square will help you to take action and to find the equilibrium in the new beliefs and spirituality that you have within yourself. Now, on the 25th, Mercury in Taurus and the 12th is squaring Jupiter in Aquarius as well in your ninth. So Jupiter in Aquarius is expanding your beliefs, expanding your new knowledge and everything. And your spirituality is also, it's teeter-tottering and they're seeking to understand each other. And this is going to find a great equilibrium too, because Mercury on the 25th is also conjuncting Venus in that 12th house. So it tells me that there's going to be some loving reconciliation within yourself and your spirit with all that's happening with these squares, with your beliefs. So on the 26th, there is a full moon in Scorpio. So all this action that's happening comes to a culmination point in your sixth house. So, all this great energy has been giving you and your body, a lot to do, a lot to deal with. And with the full moon there, you're releasing, it's coming to a head. You're releasing a lot in your body. So just with all this month and all the action that's happening, which is very good for you, Gemini, don't let the squares fool you. There's more sextiles, more sweet aspects, more great aspects for you. That the full moon is pretty much just you saying, okay, what do I need? What do I not need? Maybe with the sixth house being your routine and your health, what do I see that I absolutely don't need anymore? It could be a habit you do, or it could be part of your routine that's like, okay, let's cut the fat here, literally, and make everything move more smoothly. And on the 27th, Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn, and that's in your 8th house. So Pluto's been in your 8th house for a while now. A while, because Pluto doesn't move very quickly. And when it goes retrograde, it intensifies, and it also goes over what you've been learning. Now, Gemini, it's sooner or later, within the next few years, Pluto's going to move into a different house, which is great. So as it's going retrograde and, questioning again things that are 8th house matters, such as other people's resources, darker subject matters, just know that you've learned. You've learned a lot of lessons, and stand strong in those, because when you do that, you're just going to realize during this retrograde time that you're going to realize how much you've learned. You're going to realize how much you've changed, and that's a really beautiful thing. So this end of the month is looking amazing, transformational, and it's all in line with all your friends, and you're getting a lot of support for all these changes, and people are taking notice and agreeing in agreement. Now, on the 29th, Mercury in Taurus in your 12th house is sextiling Neptune in Pisces in your 10th. Okay, so Mercury in Taurus, again in your 12th house, spiritual matters, things that you can't really see, dreams. Neptune and Pisces, Neptune's the planet of dreams, and Pisces the very dreamy constellation as well. This is like your dreams are coming true, to be honest, because it's your 10th house. That's your highest aspirations. And all the spirituality that you've attained, and all the things you're learning, and the strength that you've gained with everything you've gone through, Gemini, the sextile is putting all the pieces of the puzzle on the table. I always feel like sextiles, they're like, okay, all the puzzle pieces are on the table, and they're not just on the table, but they're set in a way that you can actually see the picture coming together, and you just put it together. And it's for your career. All these things you've been going through are blessing your career. Now on the 30th, to end the month, the Sun in Taurus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus in your 12th house, because you've had this revolutionary energy within yourself, and the Sun is there. It's coming in alignment with Uranus, and it's supercharging that revolution. So at the end of the month, you're so ready. You're so ready for May. You're so ready to take on a lot of these things that are for your benefit in your career, in your aspirations. So keep going, Gemini. You're doing an amazing job. This month is looking like an 8 or 9 from 1 to 10. It's looking like an 8 or 9. I just want to reassure you that there are more pleasant, helpful aspects than any of the little frictions. The little friction is what you need to spark that fire within you. So I think you're really going to enjoy April. Take advantage of all the information you have here. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. Please feel free to subscribe, like, or comment. And I hope you have a wonderful April, and can't wait to see you in May, leading up to your birthday season. So thank you so much, and have a great, like I said, have a great April.